Hi everyone, I'm Chef Leroy and welcome to my cozy kitchen. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I certainly am. Weather here today is beautiful, cool day out. I actually took the motorcycle out for a spin today. It's fantastic. Now, I want to thank all you guys out there that have been watching my videos and subscribing. That's fantastic. If you guys subscribe, it's free, just so you know. It doesn't charge, they don't charge any money to subscribe. And it just lets you know when a video has been posted. But that's that part. But thank you everyone for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Today we are going to talk about stewed tomatoes. Now, this is actually a really good recipe, and it almost is like making a marinara sauce without cooking it way down and reducing it. This is going to be more liquidy, and it's another nice way to use up from fresh vegetables that you get from your garden. If you have a garden and you got a lot of tomatoes, this is a recipe for you. So we've got tomatoes, we've got some parsley and some fresh basil. We're going to use some red onion. Okay, I got that from the grocery store. Not growing any red onions. We are going to use some minced garlic. In this little bowl here, I've got dry thyme, dry oregano, and bay leaf, and I'll give you the increments as I go along. This bowl here, I've got salt, sugar, and ground black pepper. All right, so before we can actually make the stewed tomatoes, we are going to have to peel the skins off. So let me show you how to do that right now. All right, in this bowl right here, I've got about 3.5 pounds of tomatoes. These are all fresh from the garden, and they are beautiful. So let's pull them out of this bowl. This bowl I'm actually going to use as an ice bath bowl, so that's what I'm going to use this for. But we're going to use it to transfer the tomatoes to the stove and back and forth. So first thing you want to do is cut off anything that's bad. Like this has a little bad spot here. Okay, you want to take out the stem end. So pop that out. You don't have to do this now, but I'm going to do it. Put a little cut in the back of the tomato, on the end of the tomato, little split. Pop the core, and again, put a little slice in the bottom. Okay, I'll go ahead and put those right in your bowl and continue. So there you go, that's ready. All right, so I'm going to bring these over to the stove. Now, in this bowl here, I've got fresh basil and parsley. And the amount of basil I have is 0.3 of an ounce, which makes about a 1/4 cup of chopped, okay? Now the other one is the fresh parsley, and that also will make about a 1/4 cup, and that's 0.1 of an ounce if you want the measurements, all right? So let's go ahead and put that on the board. I'm just waiting for my water to heat up a little bit more before I get those tomatoes started, and I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go ahead and chop up these herbs. Now, the one method I didn't really explain when I'm stewing my tomatoes is I'm going to use my pressure cooker. And I'm telling you, the last time I made it, that sauce was fantastic. So I really want to make another one since I've got all this product. The nice thing about it too is once it's done, you can freeze it. Use it for a later dish, meal. I go ahead and throw it right in that bowl. Okay, just like that. All right, now we need about a 1/4 of a red onion. So I don't have quite a 1/4 red onion with this. So I'm going to cut this other one up to get a little bit more. Okay, so go ahead and skin it. Okay, let's go ahead and dice this up. I'll dice up the small stuff first. You don't have to be perfect. Just cut it with the grain one direction and across the grain the other direction. Okay, like I said, that wasn't quite a 1/4 of an onion, so I'm going to take a little bit off this guy. And that's about a medium size red onion, if you wanted to know. And again, just slice it up. Now, next step, we're going to add olive oil. So we need olive oil to add to our pot. Whew, those onions got a bite to them. Burning me eyeballs. Okay, so here's my pot for my pressure cooker. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Dump that right in. And then I've got 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. You can use cloves too. I'd probably use 2, medium, large cloves if I did this. Okay, then we'll go ahead and add our onion to the pot. And like so. All right, now, next items that we're going to add to the pot. So in this bowl here, I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of dry thyme. I have 1 teaspoon of dry oregano and 4 each bay leaf. Let's go ahead and add those right here. Pressure cooker pot. All right, let's get it in the pressure cooker. I'll show you. All right, this is about 2 minutes of cook time already. And that's looking really good. Now this will stay hot for a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this off because I think that is plenty of cooking time there. So again, that was 2 minutes already. Like I said, it gets pretty hot quick. I don't think all 2 pots are the same, so you'll have to just kind of monitor your time and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. All right, we're to the stove here now. It's not 100% boiling, but it should be good. Go ahead and drop your tomatoes in there. The water will displace, so you'll have good coverage all over the tomato. And you can use I got my little strainer guy here. I like to flip them, move them around. And we're going to go for 45 seconds. So it doesn't take long. There we go, 45, it is. And again, let's go ahead and get ice and water in here. Okay, that's the time. Tomatoes right in your cold water bath. And then you'll wait 5 minutes before you start to skin them. You can already see the skin is starting to peel up a little bit on the tomato here. So that's it. Okay, let them rest for 5 minutes. All right, my tomatoes have been resting in the cold water for 5 minutes. You pick up a tomato and just pull the skins right like that. And I have my other bowl sitting here to put them in because I want to chop them up before I put them into my pressure cooker. So right now we have our onions sauteed, and we have our herbs cut up, and we have everything else measured. So there you go. That was one of the big tomatoes. These little guys are quick. Okay, there you go. Now, I will give you a little tip on tomatoes. So if you've got tomatoes that are this big versus this big, it's better to go with the big ones. It takes about 8 large tomatoes to be about 3.5 pounds. That's kind of what I figured out before. All right, there you go. Tomatoes are ready to be chopped down, okay? So go ahead and take one out, cut it in half, cut it in half again. I just kind of cut it down a little bit smaller, just like so. It doesn't have to be any perfect way because they're going to cook down. You just want them a little bit smaller. And then just add them to your pot. And again, I'm using a Breville pressure cooker, and mine's, I don't know. I would say mine's about close to 7 years old now, I think. I don't even know. I've had it a long time. I like it though, it's really nice. And in the pot. Okay, and continue. And everything's in the pot. All right, let's go ahead and throw all the rest of our ingredients in there and let's get it cooking. Okay, tomatoes are in the pot. I'm going to put my herbs in there. So this was parsley and basil, salt and pepper, and I already had my oregano, thyme, garlic, oil, and onions already in. So go ahead and give this a nice mix. So everything went in really nicely. This is actually a really easy recipe, honestly. Now go ahead and cover it up. Close your valve. I don't know, mine has this setting on here for medium, high, and low. I don't know if all the other ones do, but this one does. I just keep it on high. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it on my pressure cook. I'm gonna set the timer to 12 minutes and start. And that is it. Let her go. And while that's working, we're gonna clean up our mess. All right, guys, I'm gonna do a recap on our stewed tomatoes that we made today. So again, this is a flavored stewed tomato, and you do not have to do that. You can do just a straight up stewed tomato, but I would also use salt and sugar to balance out the acidity of the tomato. But you don't have to do all these other flavors. When the pressure cooker is done, I'll show you what everything looks like when it's finished. But if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments. And again, I appreciate all of you that have subscribed to this point and are viewing my videos. Again, subscriptions are free, so subscribe. If you are nervous about that, I can understand, but subscriptions are free. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It just gives you a notification when a video has been put out. Please give me a couple thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I sure enjoyed doing this today. It was fun. I've made this stewed tomatoes before, and it came out fantastic. It's a great thing to add to any other type of dish. Again, like I said, this is more on the Italian side. You guys have a fantastic day. Chef Leroy, and out. Okay, the steam is completely released, or I should say the pressure. Go ahead and pull your cover up. All right, guys, my stewed tomatoes are done, and that's what they look like, and now the steam is steaming up my lens. So let's not stir it anymore. Yes, it's nice and hot, but it looks fantastic. It smells even better. It's pretty watery, but that's okay. When you're making a sauce, you're gonna let this cook down a little bit more. So anyway, that's your stewed tomatoes. That's what they should look like.